favorite.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so go ahead, Mike Lee. All right. Mike, come on up here and just tell them who you are and y'all listen to him carefully because, boy, this is big, just as the rest of them are.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Senator
Mike.
Elliott. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you, Democrats. It's great to be here with some right-thinking folks. I've already talked to a lot of you, and I've got some relatives in the stands too. It's my sister, Patty Longinati, Sandy. But I've talked to a few others that I just met. Some of them were protesting and got in a little trouble, and they're here to be arraigned, I think, something like that. Okay, it was in the protest, basically. And I've got a couple things to say about that. Resistance and persistence. I think that is great. I mean, that's why we have freedom of speech. That's why we have freedom of assembly. So go for it. Do what you think is right on something like that. But I feel like I'm among friends. Okay. As I just introduced my sister, Patty. Patty knows this was our whole area up here. This is 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Dairy Queen, still there. Okay. If you're old enough, you know right next to that was the fire station. Not a fire station anymore, but the house next to that, 712 West Grand, is where I spent my junior high years, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. That's my church over there, St. John's. Okay. Central Junior High was right down the street, Andy's Bakery and Cafe. It was great growing up in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And I feel so many connections to so many people, like Mark there, Hot Springs High School. First of all, who is ready for real change on Election Day? Who's ready to restore some common sense and dignity to the office of Attorney General? Who's ready to bring the focus of the Attorney General's office back to the people of Arkansas? I am Mike Lee, and I am ready to be that Attorney General, the people's lawyer, come November. We have a lot of problems, that we need to deal with. But what an Attorney General should do is protect people and hold wrongdoers accountable. That's what an Attorney General should do. But for the last 4 years, Leslie Rutledge has used the Attorney General's office for her own agenda and not your agenda. So I made up my mind earlier this year that I was going to do something about it, and I'd appreciate your help in the process of I hope you join me in that. But we cannot afford, Arkansans cannot afford the cost of an Attorney General who thinks more about playing politics in Washington, D.C. than she does protecting the people of Arkansas, period. We have an Attorney General who, when asked by all 75 counties to join a lawsuit against the opioid industry, she said no. Not only did she say no to the people, she surprised all 75 counties by filing her own lawsuit and trying to dismiss theirs. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Most of you have probably heard about that. Thankfully, she was unsuccessful in doing that. And let me tell you, Newsweek magazine has hailed what these 75 Arkansas counties have done as a model of what other states should do to address the treatment and prevention of opioid addiction. I mean, that tells you a lot about the process that the counties are trying to do. On day one, when I'm Attorney General, I will join those 75 counties in their lawsuit, period. We have an Attorney General who is threatening our health insurance. She's part of a lawsuit in Texas that will do away with Medicaid expansion, throw 275,000 Arkansans off of health care. So if you have a pre-existing condition, watch out. If you have a pre-existing condition like diabetes, high blood pressure, you may not be able to get insurance, you may be priced out of the market, it's here. On day one, as Attorney General, I will get out of that Texas lawsuit, period. We have an Attorney General who has turned a blind eye to corruption. This election is a chance to send a signal to corrupt politicians and lobbyists that there's a new Attorney General watchdog in town ready to bring some order to the people's house. Now, I get tired of reading in the newspaper where you have a bribe paid to a legislator who then shuffles taxpayer money, wasted money, into a special interest project. I will advance a legislative package that will basically seek to enhance and strengthen our ethics laws so that we can hold these people accountable and protect our democracy in Arkansas. Now, I was mentioning a while ago about the history. As you know, I was raised here. Patty was raised here. Went to Hot Springs High School. Went 2 years to the U.S. Naval Academy. Married my high school sweetheart. She's got grandchild duty tonight, or she'd be here. We have 2 sons, as a matter of fact, and 9 grandchildren. So we stay busy living in Little Rock. You know, we're not in Hot Springs right now. We're in Little Rock. But I got an engineering degree from the University of Arkansas, and I went to work for Reynolds Metals Company in Jones Mills. Anybody know where that is? Okay. Yeah. Worked there for nearly 10 years, and I walked the floors of the plant trying to make sure that aluminum workers worked safely around 1,600 degree Fahrenheit molten metal. Okay. While I was at Reynolds, I got my law degree, and in 1984, I practiced law with Gary Eubanks and Associates. I represented injury victims, people with a lot of trouble. An emphasis in my practice was on dangerous products, 3-wheeled all-terrain cycles, tractors sold without roll bars, tires that blew out and caused accidents and things of that nature. I took all of this experience that I had in engineering and in law in the year 2010, and I went to the Washington, D.C. area where I worked for a small agency called the Consumer Product Safety Commission. And for 5 years, I was in charge of toy safety for the United States of America. And I had some other duties too, and the one I'm most proud of is I helped get millions of dangerous Chinese imported drop-side cribs off the shelves of all the stores in this country in the very first 6 months that I worked with that agency. Now, I'm going to take all this experience, a lot of it. I've been around a while, and I have the experience that it takes to be Attorney General, but I can't do it by myself. I'm going to need your help, as all these candidates have indicated. We've got some great candidates, by the way. They're all wonderful candidates. Democratic Party's got to make a move. We got to make a move, and we can start by getting these candidates elected. But I'm going to take all this experience I've had, and I'm going to take it to the Attorney General's office and truly be the people's lawyer, period. And I can make you this promise. Together, we can start moving this state in the right direction. Together, we can bring the Attorney General's office back to the people of Arkansas. And together, we can stand up for Arkansas families and fight for the state that we all love. Any help you can give to me and any of these candidates would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for your attention. Appreciate it.